ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to be right back on your screen. It's Sunday, happy Sunday. How was your weekend? I hope you all had an amazing and glaring weekend like myself. Were you in church today morning? Did you attend service? Can you remind yourself of what the preacher said in church today? Okay, if you don't remember, I think you want to get a jotter down right now. Get a pen, a pencil, your tablet, your notepads, because on today's show, it's going to be one that is quite educating and you want to jot down things, because you know what, the smallest pencil is better than the widest computer. Lots of things are hitting the world that I'm particularly troubled about. Talk about domestic violence against women, against men, but particularly against women. It gets me so uptight. I am worried. Women cannot fully operate. They cannot operate in full potential because of domestic violence. And today we come around in the show to talk about this. And that is why I brought as guest someone who is not just the law, but she's living the law, and she's going to put us through this. Sit tight. It's going to be an interesting show today. I come back right after the break.
There are lots of soaps and skincare products that strip away the natural protection of your skin, leaving your skin vulnerable to irritation and blemishes. Betrayal Organic Skincare is here with a better solution for your body. Betrayal Body Cream enhances your glow and strengthens your skin's elasticity by softening and smoothing all calluses. Betrayal Black Soap balances uneven skin tone by reducing hyperpigmentation and clearing dark spots. Betrayal Serum moisturizes your skin, while Betrayal Body Scrub exfoliates and removes dead skin cells. Guess what? It is efficient on all skin types. A skincare combo carefully formulated to offer your body premium treatment. Betrayal is your brush of perfection.
I'm sure you're not going to deny the fact that I am glowing, and all of this is Betrayal natural skincare products like you just watched from the advert. Did you love it? Did you get the contacts that were displayed right on your screen? If you didn't, I want you to go back right to that advert. You can always go back. Get the contacts, write to Betrayal on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, wherever media you want to reach out. Reach out to them and get something to keep yourself glowing, because your first look passes across a very serious message, and you want to look like this brand ambassador sitting right here. Now I told you we're going to be meeting the law on the show, but before we get to meet her, when I say the law, I mean a person, and I'm talking about a female Cameroonian barrister, a lawyer. But before we get to meet her, I want you to have this running at the back of your mind, because this is today's topic that we are focused on: domestic violence against women, the easiest means to limit a woman from operating at full potential. What do you think? A couple of days ago, I dropped a post on Facebook, and I mentioned that one of the reasons why women cannot operate at full potential is because of how much men beat them up, especially those women who end up in their homes just as baby-making machines, and they have nothing to show for, or nothing to bring to the table to support their families. So at the end of the day, these men feel that because they give you everything, they have to now pour back their anger on you and treat you however they want. Now, what do you think about it? Do you think domestic violence against women is a means to limit them from operating at full potential? If your response is yes, I want you to leave a comment on my Facebook page, or why not drop it on our YouTube channel comment section, so that we get your reactions before the end of the show. You can reach out to someone out there who is watching us. It's time to meet my guests. Hello, Barrister CHEFU Joy.
Hello, CARISMA.
I love it when you come this way. You bring all the joy to the show. You look elegantly beautiful.
Thank you.
I love your hair.
Thank you.
Natural dreads. How long have you been having that?
This is just about 3 months. I actually had the longer version, and I cut.
Okay.
So I'm starting all over.
It looks pretty good on you. I think I'm going to try that for next show. Will my hair be okay? But okay, you can't even see my hair right now. So we're going to start right away by introducing you. Who is Barrister Joy?
Barrister CHEFU is a lawyer, a young lawyer, and someone said I should remove the word young. Yes, I'm a lawyer. Gender-based activist.
Okay.
Yes, I love to fight for the rights of women and young girls, and not just fight for their rights, but empower them and to let them know that they are much more than they think. I think that is
Basically who you are. Now let's know where you hail from in Cameroon so that we can shout out to the people watching us.
I come from the northwest region of Cameroon, specifically Bafut. Yes.
Bafut has got beautiful women.
Oh,
My pastor's wife is from Bafut. She's extremely beautiful. Okay, so how do you say good morning in Bafut?
Abefu.
Abefu and how?
Abefu.
Abefu? Let me learn.
That's like good morning.
Okay. I'm trying to look at which part of Cameroon I'm going to pick a husband from. So I'm trying Cambe and then now I'm going to be trying Bafut. So when you say Abefu, how do we respond? Abefu. Abefu to you all watching us from Bafut. Thank you for joining us on the show. Now I want you to tell me, as a lawyer that you are, what is your job description? What is it that you do as a lawyer?
Okay. As a lawyer, the first thing is you come in contact with clients at, let me say, consultation. You talk to them, they explain their problems to you, or they explain their situation to you, and you are able to give them legal advice on what they are supposed to do. You inform them of their rights, their civic rights and obligations, because most people don't know. And there are some of them that you're not in at the level of giving them advice. You might have to go ahead to defend them, maybe in court or at the police station, or maybe even before any administrative authority. Okay. Yeah.
So in other words, a lawyer stands in the place of a consultant as well.
Yes.
You teach people the law.
Yeah.
Because personally, I don't know which one is which one in Cameroon as code, penal code, or whatever.
Yeah, it's a problem that most Cameroonians have.
Okay.
We don't like reading. Yes, so they always say if you want to hide something from a Cameroonian, keep it in the book. Most of us are not aware of the code, what is written inside and what is expected of us as citizens. Most of us are just completely lost. So it's always good to have a lawyer, even as a friend, because from time to time you might talk and they're going to enlighten you on something that you're completely lost about.
Oh, thank God I have a lawyer on the show, not as a friend but as guest, so I just signed into friendship with a lawyer. You might want to start being very careful with the way you come around me. Don't play. Okay, so I want you to tell me when you joined the Cameroon Bar Association. Tell us the journey, take us back. Tell us how you started.
Okay. Interesting journey. First of all, I did something that wasn't in my plan. I studied law, and before that, it wasn't actually what I wanted to do. I think I wanted to be some, you know, we always go with this childhood dream of who you want to be.
Especially doctors.
Yes. No, I didn't dream of being a doctor, but I always admired people who carried bags and they walked around. They called themselves tourist guide and hotel management, stuff like that. That was my wildest dreams. But when I had my advanced level, things kind of turned around. I wrote the concours to the only school that we had at the time, which is in Naundere, the hotel management school, and I didn't make it. My second option was law. So funny how the second became the first. And that is how I had to sign up for SWA, because University of Yaoundé 2 SWA was the option at that time that was best for me. Being a Cameroonian, I thought of me having gone through a purely Anglo-Saxon education and not really having that base of French, let me put it like that. You know, we had this small chit-chats in our class and my friends would be like, bonjour, this is that, and you're completely lost in a discussion. So I also wanted to have that experience. I wanted to know the French and everything, so I signed up for SWA. It wasn't easy, but I got in and I succeeded. I had a degree, and later on I came into legal practice. You know, I just went to a law firm like, this was still not in the plan, lawyer we know. I was just, let me just pass time here while I get something doing like bush. You know, in those days when we used to think that falling bush was a profession. Yeah. So I wanted to go abroad. I had other plans. I wanted to do something in the line of law, but not being a lawyer. But spending time in the chambers and working, I think I had another experience of what lawyering is all about. Because I think lots of us have the impression that if you do not bribe, if you do not do some fishy things, if you do not do some bad things, I'll put it in quotes, you're never going to be making the law profession. But when I got into the chambers and I started practice, there were things that I saw that changed my perspective about being a lawyer. So I got more interested, and along the line, I had a confirmation of lawyering being what I had to do. So luckily, around that time, 2014, the bar was launched. I won the bar and I made it. So far,
It's been a beautiful journey. Now, people often say that every lawyer is a liar. Can you affirm or deny this statement?
of course, I'm going to deny it. Because if you listen to what I just said,
Yes.
then it is just part of me denying it. It's funny, but I'm going to tell you this. What most people, what the public is exposed to, that makes them think that most lawyers are liars, are mostly criminal cases.
Yes.
But believe you me, it is not even a criminal case that is the most, how will I put it? In most criminal cases, lawyers do not even make as much money as they do in civil cases and other cases. That is my opinion. Because trust me, if you want to weigh the time and the energy and everything you put into making a criminal case a success, and what you have to put into making a civil case or a labor matter a success, and then you look at the money at the end of the day, what the client pays you as gives you as honorarium, at the end of the day you discover that you don't even make as much. So there are people who will never even go to a criminal session. They will never even do anything penal. And they just sit in their offices, they do consultation, they do other things, and they make lots of money from it. So that is why I told you that while in chambers, I had this experience of what lawyering was all about. I had a complete change of mind. Because personally, I have my beliefs when it comes to how I want to live. I have my own way of doing things, and for those who know me personally, some of those things, they just don't work.
Okay. Yeah. Now, from the beginning of the show, I said that today is going to be a very educative one.
Yeah.
Now, you just mentioned that there is a civil case and then there is a criminal case.
Yeah.
We want to learn what's the difference.
Criminal cases are cases that have to do with offenses.
Okay.
Yes, it could be offenses against a state, it could be offenses against a person.
Okay.
And civil cases would mostly go with litigations between companies that are not exactly offenses. Maybe they have differences or disputes in terms of work conditions or money or something, but it's not exactly an offense. Yeah.
Oh, I love the way she masters her job. Now, this is the kind of woman I call the leading woman. Barrister, aside being a lawyer, I see you do a lot of humanitarian works. I mean, I follow, from time to time I follow on your timeline, and every day I see you advocating, especially for the young generation of women. And I started asking myself, what is it that pushes her? Because she already has a vocation, and then this other part of her. What is it that pushes you? What drives you to want to do the things you do for young women?
The first thing is, I think that most women have been laid behind, maybe because of where we come from, maybe because of the kind of ideas that we have had planted in our heads, or I don't know, for some reason, some people just think that because they are women, they are not entitled to some things. And in other cases, some people just think that because they are men, they should press down the others, or the others should not have as much as they have. So I just have this in my head, and I'm just like, okay, can we change the narrative? Can we change some of these things? Can we let people know that a man and a woman, they are equal? When I say they are equal, I mean equal to opportunities. I mean equal in, if a man can do this thing, at least try it.
Yeah.
Don't just be laid back and like, no, I don't want to do it because it's a man's thing. You haven't even tried and not succeeded.
If your energy can carry you to do it,
why not do it? What do you think that a man should do a certain kind of job and you cannot do it? I have seen women mechanics. I have seen women taxi drivers, and they do so well.
Oh, I own an all-ladies car.
Exactly.
Only ladies do wash cars.
And it works so well. Yeah. But for most ladies, you tell them, they'll be like, hey, no, that is not for a woman. I can't do that kind of a job. So I just have this thing of, I want to change the mindsets of women. And aside that, I see, this idea again, it causes lots of women to, I think that women need to be financially empowered too. Yes, because most of the time, some of these women are laid back, maybe in their minds or the things they do because they don't have the means. Yes, so, and when you even talk of domestic violence, you see most of the women who decide to stay in those relationships and suffer, it's because they don't have the means to go ahead. Yes, so, I just want women to have a change of mind.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, when I dropped the post on Facebook talking about domestic violence, lots of people gave me their reactions that we are going to come back to right after this break, and then you're going to give us your opinion about it. Okay. Stay with us. We'll be right back. If you are just joining us, you are watching The Leading Woman on Ablaze TV. And you know what I love so much about you viewers? I mean, I have the best audience. Each time we get a question for the day or we have a worry that we share, you all get to respond very quickly and smartly. And so on today's show, we are talking domestic violence, particularly against women. And I had a worry that I shared online, and some of you gave your reactions, which are very intriguing. So I'm going to be reading them out. But first, let me share the worry so that if you're just joining us, you get to know exactly what we are talking about. So I said, I am thinking that the reason most men beat up their wives is because these women have little or nothing to offer as support in their homes, aside making babies, even when they respect these men to the brim. Now, no man, especially in this 21st century, wants to marry a woman who can't pull up their chair to the table. And my little statistics have proven that most men easily raise their voices and hands on women that they basically provide everything for. Now, that was it. What do you think about it? These are reactions from some people, because that is my thought, and then some people shared their reactions that are very, very intriguing, like I said earlier. So we are going to get these reactions, Barrister, and then you will come in and back this all up with the law. So I'm going to get the first reaction here. This is from OK, one of my co-hosts on Ablaze TV. Shout out to Mrs. Rudy. She says that personally I can't stand domestic violence, whether perpetrated by the man or woman. Women often abuse their husbands emotionally, but it is hard to see the physical effects. So the world pays no attention. Meanwhile, domestic violence on women pulls attention because physical effects are involved for everyone to see. I strongly condemn any form of domestic violence from either parties. Wow, Rudy, she spoke for both the men and the women. Well, I strongly stand for the women for now. Now, this guy says that, I'm not going to read out his name because I think I'm not, first of all, very comfortable with his response. He says that it's really going to be difficult for someone in his right senses to do so, and to beat up a woman. Then he continues by saying that also, not forgetting that when you love and trust your woman, no matter how high or financially stable, when it comes to cheating, and I catch you right-handed, no, ma, you must get my misbehavior that moment. Can you imagine? I'm so hurt. But I'm just going to move on to the next person, Geraldine Foba. I love my family. Oh, they're always supportive, and I'm giving a big shout out to them. Geraldine Foba says that I agree with you 100%. I don't know why some women think their lives depend on a man to the extent where they are willing to endure to the point of death. Being self-sufficient is not a crime. It's just healthy, very healthy for you, the woman, and your husband and kids. I stand for ladies becoming leading women in all their potential. Now, I'm going to read one more reaction or two. This is coming from Frisha Gold. Oh, that's my elder sister. I said earlier, I have the best family. They always support. She said, yes, babe. She calls me babe all the time. So I'm lucky. She says, a woman who isn't bringing any added value will begin to look like any other furniture in the house. That hurts. And the man also must be useful. Useless contributing men have low self-esteem and take it out on their hard-working wives, because that's the only way they feel they can express their manliness. Now, I think we are going to end there for the reactions for today. Barrister, I personally think that the reason why some women can't live their dream is because these men beat them every now and then. Because I believe that beating a woman beats her self-esteem down to zero, from 100 to zero. She won't believe in herself again. She doesn't even think that she can do something for herself, and it limits her a lot. She might wake up every morning and feel that, okay, since this man looks at me like trash, let me just stay indoors and do nothing. I don't think any other person out there, I mean, if it's coming from her home, then nobody out there will respect her or give her any value. So I want you to tell us, in your own opinion, as someone who knows the law and who is advocating for women, do you think domestic violence against women still gives them a chance to be able to operate at full potential as they are supposed to?
I'll get to that, but I want to start with something that most people take for granted.
Okay.
Domestic violence doesn't only happen to women. It happens to men, it happens to children.
Just like Ms. Fonwe said.
Yes. In the family cycle, if we have to go into talking about domestic violence in its broad, you're going to understand that every party in a family, in one way or the other, endures domestic violence. Now, I had a discussion with somebody today, and I told him, he said, oh, why do you guys always talk about women and you forget about men? You're always talking as if men don't exist in the home. No, the man exists. But in most cases, the woman suffers more than the man.
Yeah.
You will notice that if a woman is beaten, the effects are there and then. Maybe she has a mark on her face, she cannot go out that day, she has to start looking for powder to cover her face, or maybe she has a bruise on her body, she's trying to cover up. But for most men, because domestic violence on them is psychological and verbal, it takes a longer time to manifest. I have not seen them so far the consequences. They do, but at a longer time. Now, talking about the effects on women and their productivity, if you have a woman who is being beaten every day, first of all, it kills her self-esteem. She wants to be shut up. She wants to be in herself. She doesn't want to talk to people, because the moment you start interacting, everybody's asking, but hey, what happened? Hey, I've seen most of them. Most big women, don't even, in fact, you see a woman, like the guy said something, and I laughed. He didn't call his name, but let me tell you, it's the truth. A man beater is a man beater. It doesn't matter if you bring food to the table. It doesn't matter if you're that beautiful, if you're that rich. I have colleagues, I know of magistrates, I know of policewomen who are being beaten every day by their husbands. It happens. So, if you see a man who beats his wife, no matter what happens, he will be. The truth is, the number 2 is reduced. Because most women who are able to put food on their own table, who are able to do things for themselves, after a long while they're like, hey, I can't take this nonsense, and they're gone. But because you cannot do anything, because you are so unproductive, you cannot afford anything for yourself, you are forced to stay in that abusive marriage, because you want your husband to feed you, you want your husband to clothe you. And that is why every time we talk about domestic violence, we also try to empower a woman. We tell them, if you cannot go out to an office like some of us do, if you cannot own a big shop like some other woman does, please fry granules and sell.
Do something.
Please do something with your hands. Please get busy. Because trust me, the moment the man is able to see that you are able to buy something for 100 francs, he goes to work and he comes back and you have food, your kids have eaten, you have eaten and you are asleep, most of the time he's powerless and he cannot really do something to you. So we don't like to want to tell women that, oh, watch out for your man beating you, watch out. I also love to tell women, please, know how you treat the man. You need to be nice to them also. Some men really do try, but they don't have the women who are supportive enough. And the man too, if a woman is not there, everything we do is in vain. So try to help her to be able to help you. Women should get productive. They should do something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I love it how you strike the balance. When I put up this post, at the end of the day, at the end of the post, what I said was, you as a woman, if you give value to yourself, If you prove yourself worthy, every other man is going to respect you.
That's true.
Yeah, they're going to look at you with so much value, and it's going to reduce this domestic violence.
Because even the man who beats you when you're even that working woman, deep in his mind, he knows that this woman can leave me. So sometimes they are just men who, let me say, they don't know how to control their anger, or they don't know, they do that and then maybe they regret for most of them, or some of them are just extra proud over nothing. Like some men also don't like competition. Yeah. They don't like powerful and strong women. Yes. But the moment they get into it, maybe they didn't think you're going to grow to that level. So you also need to be able to strike the balance. Yes. You might be making money, but
stay a woman. The Bible even knows that.
Exactly. Because I spoke about women being equal, and most women have misinterpreted that too. Yes. I speak as someone who receives some of these women every day, and I talk to them. A man will tell you, she outrightly told me, I am nothing, I cannot do anything for her.
She wants to take the place
of a man. She wants to take the place of a man. You are still the woman, and I'm a Christian. So I believe that a woman should respect her husband. He is the head. Yeah.
You have your place.
You have your place.
Yes, and you can handle the task according to your purpose.
Exactly.
So let it end there. Don't try taking the man's place.
True.
If you must operate at full potential, do it at your level and leave it there. Let the man do what he has to do, because no matter what, he remains the man. Yeah. Now, Barrister, today is Sunday, and I want to believe that you went to church.
Always
saying that you went to church. I'm trying to let the public know that you are someone who believes in God, the Lord. You trust God. You believe in His abilities and His power. Now, I want you to tell us, as a born-again Christian, what role has your Christianity played in your life, in your career, that has brought you to this level that we all look and admire your life?
Where do I start from? It's I would say that even getting into the legal profession, it was all in God's plan, and it was by divine direction that I got to that. Yes, because like I told you from the very beginning, it was never something I wanted to do. I had my plans, but you might have your plans, and if you're a child of God, you have to know that God has ultimate plans for you, and His plans are always the best. At some point, I feel like giving it up, and I feel like, it's not like I wanted. By this is not what I wanted to do and all of that, but He still tells me, this is what you want to do. There is a generation I am raising, and you have to do this and that and that, so you have to stay focused. So the Word of God has been my guide. It has been what has helped me, and maybe I should just use this opportunity to give a special shout out to my spiritual father, Dr. Samuel Leslie. Yes, under his Light World Mission International. Yes, I will tell you that my life changed for good when I joined Light World. His teachings, the word, and every day on my head. If you cannot change under that kind of atmosphere, then I don't know what is
There's no hope for you.
There's no hope for you. Yes. So I want to say, and each time I have a difficulty, even in my career, sometimes I will talk to him, and God is always using him to give me spiritual direction, and so it's been God all along. Okay. Yes, it's been God all along, and I'm so grateful that I choose this life. Yeah.
In essence, the Word of God is everything.
Yeah.
He says that in His Word, He says that when He created the earth, He created it in His Word. Yes, so His Word is that which backs us, backs our careers, our lives at the end of the day. Now, before we leave our viewers, I want you to reach out to a young girl who's watching us right now and is looking forward to become a barrister like yourself someday, but is scared due to gender parity, gender differences, the barriers that society have placed before women. And she's scared and worried about venturing. She doesn't know whether if she tries it's going to work out. What advice would you give that kind of a person?
Hey, young girl. You shouldn't give up on your dream of becoming a lawyer. I think you should look around you, and you will see that already we have many female lawyers, and they are thriving. They are doing so well. Yes. At first, people used to think like it's a man's world, but even in the legal profession, we don't call women, we call all of them gentlemen. Yes, we all address ourselves as such, because there's a rhythm. The moment you get into it, you need to follow the rhythm. So if you're already that kind of person who is kind of stuck in your brain and you're like, I can't do this, then I wonder, I'm just trying to tell you that you need to brace up and you need to get prepared. Just read, pick up your phone, and instead of wasting time on the internet and looking at Facebook pictures, Google something that can help you. Google something on the law, read a law book, because trust me, it's a very competitive world also. Yes, it's your word against my word, and if your word is not that strong, if your word is not that backed up, then you cannot succeed against me. So do not relent because you think that you're not fit for the world. You are fit for it. You are able, you can do it. You just need the right material to be able to make it. You just need to study and you need to trust God, and also you need orientation and mentorship, because most people, it's not everybody that has to be a lawyer, unfortunately. Yes, but if you're in this field, and most people who do law, they always be like, hey, if I don't become a magistrate, I will die. I want to be a magistrate. No, magistrate is not also for everybody. In the law field, there are diverse professions. We have notaries, we have bailiffs, we have court registrars, we have even people who sit in offices and do legal consultancy. Yes, so you should be able to know exactly what you want, and you should be able to work towards that direction. Don't give up, you can do it.
Get the right orientation, get the right mentors, and then study to show yourself approved. Thank you very much, Barrister. I wasn't wrong when I chose you to be on the show.
I'm blushing.
I am so blessed right now because I've learned lots of things on the show about the law that I personally didn't know about, and I'm sure someone out there shares the same feeling. We are going to come back some other time to talk about all those things that I can't even repeat that you said at the end of the show. You know, all those things you were naming. We're going to come back some other time so that we get to dig more and know more about the law so that we can live right.
Yeah.
But it is on this note that we are going to take leave of you. Thank you very much for always staying right to the end. Have I ever told you all that I love you so much? Yes, I do. See you. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, Ablaze TV. Sometimes you can follow on Facebook, because if we don't have it on YouTube, you're going to be having it on Facebook as well, on our page, Ablaze TV. Do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you get every other update. My name is CHEFU. See you next time. 'Cause you're